All right, what are we doing here? I think if I turn that off, that'll start working again. Yep, okay. So I am setting up the stream. Figured I'd let you guys join in while I'm working on that. Let's go hop in here. Every time I go into one of my many VPNs that I jump into for work, cuts me off of everything in the home lab, so I got to connect back in. So we're going to connect in, get that stuff all going. I got to turn StreamerBot on. See if I can go and try and find the StreamBot. It's funny, it's streamer.bot.exe. It's kind of a funny little way that works. Sin, yeah, I don't know how to say that. Sin, hopefully this stuff's useful to you. You know, I don't have going on right now, as I do not have my chat in the background. So let me put this in the background for you guys so you guys can at least see what I'm talking about. And that'll make that easier for you. And then let me get this other stuff out of the way and pull that back up. Okay. Let's connect back to these things that we're doing. And let's see if the lab is actually still working. I think a few of these are still connected up. So I clear this up. Yeah, so Llama Watcher's going, and then that will work on that side. Let me pull up one of these other ones real quick, which is, damn it, wrong one. Let's just duplicate this session. Boom. Got to reconnect. Get in here. And let's see if we can't get, okay. I need to also then fix a couple of these. This one will be, nope. Need a couple more of these. And this one will be, well, we got to send some messages in and then we'll be able to make these ones correct. But we will get these correct here in a second. All right, so this one's watching that, and this one is going to go to stream. And then this one will be stream answered watcher. Which was the last one I ran? Yeah, I think it was this one, the original one. Because I think I need to pull the other one from Colchis. Sin said, have I ever done any software reverse engineering? Not much. I mean, I take stuff apart to help people get their stuff working. So I guess I do a fair amount with strace and ltrace, depending on what's needed. I do a fair amount of watching things hit APIs and go across the network and see the behavior of things live, if you will. So like kind of dynamic type application viewing and helping my developers and the people that I work with. But I'm more of like the Linux under the hood, keep the system running and keep the system connected type engineer. So so let's do a couple of things. We have commands that you guys can mess with, but let me go pull up. I need to get the little bot up the rest of the way. So let me open that chat up so I can see this chat. Okay, I can see everything over here. And let me move this out of the way. So this is over here. And we should be able to, if I were to go to either of the chats, I should be able to see. Okay, no chats going on there. Nothing going on there. Okay, good. I'm going to move this down so I can see what's going on there a little better. Okay. No, I haven't done any gear to, so one of our guys popped in here. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, but popped in here a few months ago and had set up. Hold on a second. Sorry, I got to yawn really hard. one of the people that popped in here for a little bit, Camby, set this up, which is Malbian Linux, because they were getting ready to take one of their certifications, and they were using that kind of stuff. But no, that's not really something I do necessarily. Oh shoot, is this not connected? Hold on. I need to make sure the bot is connected to everything, which it should be. And let me send a test message. Test over there, test over there. Okay, good. Test messages work, so that's good. And if any of you guys type in commands, I think that will give both sides the commands. Let's see. Those are definitely not the right ones, so I wonder if it's not tied in yet. Hold on a second here. I gotta get these queues up and these actions going. Because the command over here. So if you type in command on YouTube, that should send out. Okay, that's it. So it's !command on YouTube. It'll pop up on both sides, and it'll say call nothing announcement. Okay. So I need somebody to do an ask, if they would, and I need somebody to do. Oh no, not ask. Ask is fine. !AI and also !answer. So I could do one of those. Let's see. Yep. So that runs on Rocky 18, and it ran this as a test. Okay, so we've got things running through and doing our Linux stuff, and then we can have this other one down here on the bottom do the AI stuff. So I'm going to do that over here and say AI, and then ask, where, what. So I ask the AI what's binary, and that goes off and chews up. Oh, I gotta look. There's one more thing we gotta pull up, which will be this one. Gotta pull up right here. Oh, that is binary. What is binary? I don't know if that's necessarily. Oops. I don't know if that's necessarily a binary. Okay. I also feel like we're missing at least one thing, which is here. Missing at least that, which is like the do all the Linux stuff. And then okay. Now these are non-screen sessions because I don't care about them. This one over here is a screen session because I do care about it. It's gonna llama, and I believe I was just running btop, and I think for btop to work we need to give it just a little bit bigger terminal. Yeah, it's like the minimum right there. Okay, so if that's the case, can we move these things so that everything fits? Nah, it's probably about the best we're gonna get right there. All right, no, maybe we'll move that up just a little bit. All right, there we go. So that thing's gonna try. It's gonna try to give you an answer for what that is, but we're gonna see. It's chewing it up. Whatever it's gonna give us for the answer will be over here on the left. Some nested parentheses represents some Boolean values, gives us some other information. See how Ranger's doing? Ranger's crashed out hard on his bed, so that's Ranger Cam. But that's what the system tells us about whatever we're looking at. It didn't get it right. There's true. Add these together gives us 9 plus 1 equals 10. So the final answer is, it thinks it was 10. What's the right answer? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the equation then that the world came to at the end of the calculation, but it was demoed about, 40, or I don't remember how many hours, but it was just like one day before it came up with the equation for what 42 was. It'll give you 42. Nice. I don't think I have JavaScript in anywhere. So I don't think I have anything that'll do that. Oh, I have the book all set up. Yeah, I gotta work on the book a little bit tonight. But basically, I'm just, guys, you gotta understand, I'm just blowing off all my responsibilities right now. So I think what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna move this up here. So this can be up here out of the way as you guys do any of your AI stuff. I'll maybe move this up like this, right? And I'm gonna maybe move this over a little bit. Yeah, let's do this a little bit. Let's see if we can this over a little bit. And again, as I said, I'm just blowing off my responsibilities, so I'm gonna go play me some Brotato while we're hanging out. Play me some Brotato while we hang out. So if you guys have any questions about systems or Linux or anything you want to talk about in that space, I can try to help you out. I am just gonna sit here and mess around with my own little instance of, I need to make that a little bigger, my own little instance of Brotato. If you guys never played this, super fun little game, super easy to get into, pretty easy to crash out onto. We'll play it on a guy that's pretty fun to play, the Demon. And then, yeah, this is me just shirking responsibilities, Control Byte. That's exactly what it is. But you guys can use commands. You can use !AI to mess with the AI a little bit, which is really just a Qwen 2.5 model. It's not some deep, trained model. We're gonna get into messing with our own models here when we finally get a digit system, but there's a little bit of time probably before we get to that because we're kind of lazy. Let's take harvesting. And since this guy buys stuff with his hit points, we are going to spend a whole bunch of hit points to get him all of his weapons and get his experience up. I'm here to help. The AI will try to help, but it just said nothing. And that's one of those ones that didn't take much. Now, we're running on 32 CPUs. We don't have any GPUs in the lab right now, so it didn't have the capability of doing much else. So, yeah, so Control Byte, we're just hanging out. Not working super hard. I'm kind of being a little lazy, but yeah, you guys can ask /AI. You can answer questions. So typically, like, I'll ask something like, "Hey, can you, tell me how many disks are in a Linux box, whether they're mounted or unmounted?" And then you could do an exclamation mark answer, and you guys could answer that question. And this window up here will try to answer that for you. This will try to give you it'll act, well, what it'll do is it'll run that command in a Linux box, and we'll see if it works or not. Oh, you said how many holes in a pole? So Sin, actually, there's a timing thing on that. Let me pull this up real quick. In case you guys have never seen this, I'll show you guys how you set this stuff up. Inside of like StreamerBot here, the command for AI is Ask Llama. So let's go see what my timeout is. I have a user cooldown of a minute. So a minute cooldown globally, I can put that down to like 30 seconds. I just don't normally do that. So that you probably did that command inside of that, and then per user we'll make it like a minute and a half. So just do like 90, that's fine. And then so this bot is what's running that, and as your requests come in the form of commands, they get dumped into different parts of my home lab, and mainly because I'm running, a Windows machine and then feeding everything through Samba back into my Linux system. So some of you guys know I have about somewhere around 80 Linux boxes in my home lab that are all virtual machines under some XCPNG, and then now there's that question going through, and that thing says the Polo is professional. I don't think that's the right answer at all, but you got to remember that model is tuned to. That model is tuned to, what's it called, programming, so it might not give you great answers on some of that stuff, but that is kind of funny. It gave you a very, very wrong answer. By the way, if I could show you here for a second, I wonder, well, I can't really roll that in that way. I was going to say I could roll that in. I need like one more slot to show you guys this. When that question happened, I'm going to move this down here for just a second. We'll bring the game back up here in a second. I'm going to move this right here. Okay. So then all of these, all of these get logged here in, I gotta refresh this one and I gotta refresh this one. So I'll show you here. So here's all the logging of people trying to get into my system and they're getting locked out forever. And then these are all of the llama answers right here. So here's all the llama answers coming in. And then here is, what happened here? And then here is all of the stream answers. So here's all the things that people have sent in, excluding the most recent one. So this is actually from 6/18. So this was yesterday, actually. Wait, no, is that right now? Oh, wait a minute. That's weird. That looks like that's incorrect. But anyway, so that's the information. So I keep track of everything that happens in the streams, right? Through a tool called Loki and through a process where we use Promtail to send info off. So we have like a lot of tracking, not because we, necessarily want to be nosy. It's just good engineering to be able to track things, right? And to be able to know what's going on in your environments. So that's what we do. Bingo, bango, bonko. Hey guys, been a while since I called live one. Yeah, well, I'm on a little earlier than normal because the wife is at a group youth event, so she's doing that right now, and I'm just kind of hanging out here. Can a matchbox? I like that. Can a matchbox? It's trying to chew that up. It's gonna give you some kind of answer. Computer science and robotics matchbox refers to a physical device or component in an industrial automation system, or learning machine models to process and analyze data. By the way, guys, I originally, when I set this up, and I can turn SpeakerBot on if we wanted, this feeds over to Polly, and it'll read you like the first, I want to say it'll read like this much if we wanted to. Like it'll pop that all up, And then Bingo Bango, when you do commands like that, it'll show you just the Twitch side commands. And if you do just command, it'll show you the StreamerBot commands. And it's kind of cool because it posts it when you do command like that, the other way. It'll feed out to Twitch and over to YouTube. So whether somebody does it on either side, it posts the answer back to both, which I think is kind of a cool little way. Oh, excuse me, to set that all up. So yeah, I'm just blowing off all my responsibility right now, and I figured I'd set up kind of some of the tooling that we had, and then maybe tell you guys a little bit, because not everybody here's been around, so they don't know that we're a Linux users group, me and the other 4,000 people or so. And the reason we exist is to try to get people into doing this stuff professionally. To that end, we have many kind of sessions to hang out with in us, in the Discord and talk about this stuff. Control Byte, I am off tomorrow. I wasn't necessarily planning a daytime stream, but I could. The things I need to do, when I say I'm blowing off my responsibilities, I got all kinds of things I got to do in the lab. So I really need to do that. And then I really need to start putting together. So we have over here in our course here. So we got the courses that the guys put together here, right? Awesome courses. Like I outlined them and I ran the course, but then the guys put together these really awesome books. And by the way, these books are completely free. So if you didn't know it, guys, right here, boom, free. And over on the YouTube side, free. And then also this book here, the security course. Oh wait, so here's the Linux course, the Linux admin course. Those are free, right? The guys put those together. I think they did an awesome job on them. I can't say enough good things about that. Like I think that even the process of building those that the guys used, I think would look really good on a resume. Like I think those guys are doing like all the right things to get kind of into the industry. But anyways, I'm going to make 2 more courses, which I've committed to make. And then we also have to finish out the Linux admin course right here. We're only in week 11 right now, so we still got a few more weeks on that. And like the goal of this stuff, again, like I know the guys joke around about it, like down in the Discord. They're like, oh, I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. When was Scott going to start charging us? You guys can hang out all you want. I never charge you guys anything. There is a book that you could buy, but that's over on LeanPub. I don't even talk about that much. Most everything around here is free. I am doing an updated version of the book though, which is why we were working on it last night. But for anybody else that wants to hang out, like there's no charge. We don't, you don't have to pay anything to kick it, right? It's just come hang out, work on this stuff, get better, find things that are interesting to you, and go do engineering around it, right? Like I tell you guys all the time, like I think Linux is a great career. I built my whole career just doing Linux. However, if you wanted to do Linux and like be a security guy, awesome. If you wanted to do Linux and be a storage area networking engineer, or you want to do Linux and high performance compute, that's awesome. If you want to do Linux and, you know what I'm saying? Like there's all these things that it's like Linux and that. And that's one of the things I love about it is none of you guys have to do the same thing as me. Like you can learn the Linux side of things and then go do anything else with your career, right? Like you don't have to, nobody has to be like me. I'm not trying to make little clones of me. So, Sin, you said, do I have any feedback on this? I've been working on it for a while. I'm in the middle of the major refactor. If you drop that, Sin, if you drop that in our, Discord, I will pull it up, whatever it is. That'll be my risky click of the day. So if you drop that here, like in general or something, look guys, we got people studying right now. Go in there and hang out with people right now. You want to make friends? There's friends right there. Friends already together. All right. But don't disrupt them from whatever they're doing. But yeah, if somebody drops that right here in general in Discord, I'll pull it up. Look right here. It says that I'm playing Brotato. I am playing Brotato. We don't want the monkey. We want attack speed on this guy. Attack speed's huge. We'll take luck. That's fine. So yeah, if you drop that in there, let me know, and I will try to give you feedback. I mean, you know, I'm an engineer, but I mean, I can do other things sometimes. And then look, here's us messing around right here in the stream. Yeah, drop it in general if you want. Because Sin, that comes through to me on chat as just a bunch of asterisks. It doesn't even show me whatever that was. All right, but let me know if you drop it in there, and I'll go check. We got to run around. The goal of Brotato is stay alive. That's the goal of many games, right? Stay alive. As Grandpa Rick told Morty on the plane inside of his teacher's dream, you avoid getting shot all the time, Morty. That's the second episode of Rick and Morty, right? With Scary Terry. Such a funny episode. I think most of you guys probably remember that. Or if you don't remember it, it's time to go back and rewatch them. I do like Rick and Morty. I haven't watched any of the new season. I've been just, I don't know if it's a silent protest or what. Yeah, Sin, I probably could. I've had that up the whole time. I'm just gonna probably leave it because that's a recommendation. People could drop anything in there. But if you want me to risky click something, I'll do it out of my Discord. I think that's a fair trade-off for security versus just clicking stuff off the internet. All right. Oh, we love baby geckos. Baby geckos make the range. It gives us more range, and then it starts to make us not have to go pick up items anymore. The money will just fly to us off the bottom of the screen, which is really the way we want it. Oh, we got two of them. That's a 50% chance now for the stuff to come. Oh, you dropped it in there? All right, let's go check. Where's our risky click of the day? Boom. Let's see what this is. Nice. And you don't mind me sharing this, obviously, since you were going to post it anyways. So, yeah, let's go look at this. I don't know. GPU accelerated JavaScript render, substation, alpha subtitles render. Okay. That seems interesting. So you've got substation alpha subtitles renderer. All right. So it'll do it in real time as you're like talking over something or reading. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Can I ask what is this? Is this not you, Saber? Or is this something else? Hold on. Did you post something else? Oh, this is awesome. How? Okay, what are you using? So, can you do? Okay. What languages does this do? You gotta remember, I don't know the code so much, or I'm not as good on that side of things. I've done some JavaScript professionally, very little, but mostly with a tool called vRealize Orchestrator. So a little bit of the stuff I kind of understand. Like I get that this is embedding it and that kind of stuff. But I wonder what's the... any Unicode code points. Okay. That's actually really cool because I've been looking for something like, so Let me show you. Let me show you something. Like I have right here on stream, I could like pop this thing up, right? And I could like pull this up over the screen, and then people would ask me something, and I could be like, I can answer that for money, right? Like I could do that as a joke. But I think it would be fun if I could use something, and I've kind of been looking around for it a little bit, where something like this would, you know, either I'm saying something or somebody's typed something in, and then it like generates the GIF and posts it in like real time. I think that would be kind of an interesting thing. So you say it can do all that. I mean, obviously that's like way simpler than this, but yeah, that's kind of cool. It was featured on OpenBase. Oh no, that didn't work. How long have you been? Looks like you got some other contributors too. And yeah, if you drop this in the Discord, like you did, there are probably some people who would take a look at it that definitely know this stuff better than me. In fact, sometimes we have projects where people will dump or people will work on stuff like this. Go look at our security stuff. All right, all right. All right. So you're still working on it. You still got things that are going interesting. So what's your target audience for this, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, hold on. I want the galleries on their own page. Hold on. So read over something. Okay. Trying to see if I recognize anything. I just finished one today that only took me 2 days to watch, because a lot of these are only like one season, you know, and I kind of hate that. I don't really like starting them anymore when they're only one season. But yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna put that away over to the side. But that's yeah, it's pretty cool. I'd have to dig into that a little bit, but it's cool that you got a project that's going. Oh wow, that is an interesting first time. That is a very interesting first time message by somebody over there on Twitch that wanted to say dick over and over again, which like isn't good form, I guess. I don't know. I don't think that's a great way to jump into a stream, but we'll probably go ahead and just report them and say chat messages, and they seemed like they were pretty much an asshole. They were spamming and just spamming. They kept typing. There we go. All right, block them. Get out of here. All right, sorry. Yes, and I appreciate you coming by. That was kind of cool. I'll have to dig into that more as I have time, but that seems like an interesting project for sure. For everybody else, we are hanging out, and I am shirking all responsibility right now. The wife is at it's like a youth event. They went out to the lake, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to sit at home and not do things that I should do. I do have tomorrow off, so that's kind of cool. But for the most part, I'm not doing all the Linux things that I probably should be doing. I'm not building all the things that I kind of had planned to build. I'm just kind of messing around right now. So you guys are welcome to mess around with me. And if you want to type things into an AI, or if you want, well, LLM, or if you want to type things into Linux, that's all available for you up there on the top left. So now I'm just kind of shirking responsibility and playing video games while I sit here. So that's my plan. That's what I'm doing. I make no apologies for it. Boots up Brotato. Yeah, right. Running Brotato. Brotato's got my heart. I've beaten most all of this game, but I still enjoy playing it. It's a surprisingly fun little time waster game. And then you know, normally you die pretty quick on it, or you finish it pretty quick, and then you can go on to do other things. Like you don't have to spend all day in it. You know, it's not like World of Warcraft where I'd have to be on to raid and have to work 20 hours a day in the game to be ready for all the raids and stuff. I don't need to do any of that anymore. This is just a quick little time waster, you know. This level, the goal is to take out all those little eggs before they can pop. Because if they pop, they turn into really annoying dudes that have about 4 times the hit points. So you do want to take them out before they can pop. IO fault, you gotta do exclamation mark answer. Like you're answering a question. Because normally I would have like some questions running or something. But you can definitely do an exclamation mark answer and it will send that over with an echo yo. That'll definitely pop up on there. And you don't have to do the Rocky 18 either. It'll just pick one. Yeah. Answer what is less. And then the says nothing appropriate. There you go. It'll drop the full command in of whatever you do. We'll take luck. And then boom, boom, boom. What is more? Gave a little bit of info. And then actually it's funny, it doesn't show it, but it cuts out after about, I think there's a 10-second timeout on it. We might have changed that. I don't know exactly what it's set to in there. And then if I go grab the newer one by Colchis, it does the colors, but I don't have that. I don't have that right now. I have to go find where Colchis has his. I can actually give me a second here. I can go find it real quick. Don't want my calculator. Hold on. Get calculator out of here. Let me go pop over here and look for a message from. I think Colchis sent it directly to me. And let me see if I can go find it from Colchis Bob. It's definitely in. Yeah, visit site. It's definitely in here somewhere. I just don't know where he put it. Probably just go find it in his. No, that's a different bot. It may just be in his miscellaneous stuff. No, maybe not even in the prologue coursework. Let's just go creep around on his page real quick for a little bit. Where's he got it? Image washer. It might be in scripts playbooks. I think that's where he put this. And yeah. Let's go steal this real quick. Wait, is this a longer version of this? Jeez. All right, let's go steal all this. We're gonna shamefully steal. He told me to use this one, but I don't think. Excuse me. Oh man, sorry guys. I don't think I actually used this one before. Stream. Let's just go drop that whole thing in here. All right. Anybody want to give it a try? Send something. Hey, Tomo, how's it going? Yeah, I got like the black lung or something. Oh man, I like didn't expect it, and I like waited too long to like cough a little, and then yeah. Can somebody send in an exclamation mark answer, and then try Neofetch or something like that again? Sorry, I stopped it for a second. And then there's a question about that. And then, oh, so hold on. So, wait. Nope. Looks like there's an error. Colchis, if you're watching, there's an error. Got to go back to original. All right, sorry, guys. You got to use... You don't get the cool color stuff. The cool color stuff is only set up if... he had an older version of it that was working, but I think he refactored a couple of things, and then, yeah, so we're kind of stuck on my original one, which is just doing the basic stuff, not doing anything special. It doesn't do any colors or any cool output for anybody or anything. Now, if you guys haven't been noticing, this character, he buys things in the shop using his hit points, his maximum hit points. So I'm running around with only 3 hit points right now. Any one of these hits would probably hit me for about 10 and kill me. So the goal, basically I'm playing the game on 1 hit point, like 1 hit. 1 hit would kill me. So the goal then is to like stay alive long enough, these little scepters that I'm using, they will every so many kills give me more life. So I'm up to 9 hit points now. Still, anything would kill me 1 hit right now. I need to probably be over 20 to not die. Ooh, not die 1 hit. And then the goal is just to kind of stay alive, make it through all the levels. Don't get hit at all. And then, you know, collect all the loot. Oh, take that scar. Take more range damage. Take more damage in general. Take the fish hook. Take the luck. Take the damage. Take more hit points. Take everything. Take all the stuff. Alright, now we're at negative 2 hit points. So we won't die on the next level. There was a lung I could have bought. That's pretty funny, Tomo. That is funny. Yeah, so, oh, Tomo, so the wife is at, she's at Lake Pleasant right now. She went over there for like a little youth activity for the kids at church. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to sit out in the sun for like, you know, multiple hours or whatever. That doesn't sound like fun to me. So I am not over there doing that with them. Oh no, I had nowhere to go, guys. There was. All right, we're restarting it because again, shirking duties, very important work. There were a couple things I could have had better there. I could have had piercing. I didn't have any piercing, so I couldn't hit through the guys. That's why they were building up so much. And then also, I probably could have had, with piercing, I would have been killing more of them off, and I wouldn't have had to been running around as stupidly as I was. So, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Nice, who's dying to bring the pop-up shade when we go. Yeah, pop-up shades are very super necessary. Super necessary. All right, I don't want any of these other things. Speed can be good, so we'll take speed. Speed could also help us sometimes. Normally this is a gamble. You get 3 max hit points, but then you start with only 1 hit point. But I'm probably going to have only 1 hit point when I start the next level anyways, so I really don't care. I'm basically playing the game on 1 hit point the whole time anyways, so like I don't really care that I only have that. So yeah, here's our goal. Run around, stay alive, kill all the bad guys, collect loot. So, does anybody else have tomorrow off? I have tomorrow off. That's kind of nice thing working a lot of federal jobs. When you work federal jobs, you get the day off on federal holidays, right? So, range. I like regen. Regen doesn't matter so much on this guy until later because again, you basically only have 1 hit point the whole time you're playing. I probably should have grabbed that first. So, I grabbed that in a bad order. So, that's fine. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that much, like up to wave 7 or so. It doesn't really matter too much what you do. It matters a little bit, but the foundation can be well set by then, but it's not that big a deal. There's not like that much variance at the low levels with what's going on. I do only have 2 hit points, so pretty much any 1 hit will kill me right now. So I gotta stay away from everybody. Ah, we do want to try to kill that guy and get his little loot, so that's good. Loot crate. We'll take the damage. Range damage. Attack speed. Range. Take more. This is what we need. Sharp bullet. It pierces through 1 more enemy, so that's good. And then we always want the baby gecko, and we always want the tooth to slow him down. So we'll take all these things. That is funny that there was a lung. Could have bought me a new lung earlier. Alright. But you guys can be asking the LLM things with exclamation mark AI or exclamation mark LLM and just ask it a question. Or you can do exclamation mark answer if you want to send things into the Linux box. Actually, nobody's tested that since it came back up, but it was the same one we were running earlier, so I'm pretty confident that's still working. And I have a diagram of like how that works, and I've shown that before, but if anybody's ever interested in how you set one of those up in StreamerBot, it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Yeah. There you go. I'll fault your root on Rocky 17 in that instance. There you go. Boom, 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 boom. What kind of questions did you guys ask the AI? What is the answer 42? Well, we all know what that is, right? 42 is the answer, but we need the question. The question was the whole purpose Earth was built. And who knows the reference? Some of you guys know the reference, I'm sure. some of you guys know. What some of you might not know, though, is that author was an author of Doctor Who. He actually wrote stuff for the BBC in the 80s and 90s. I don't know if he continued to later. I just know that he definitely wrote for the early Doctor Who show. I found that out much later, and I was like, oh, I already liked the guy a lot, and I already liked Doctor Who. The original stuff, you know, is what I'm a lot more familiar with because I grew up with it. But it's like, no, he wrote for all of them. So if you guys are not familiar with that writer, his name is Douglas Adams, and he was fantastic. Yeah, bingo bango. I figured you did. I know my brother Tomo definitely does too. He's a big fan of the Doctor Who series. Probably more of a Whovian than any of us because he goes to like the what are they called? He'll go drive to a different state to go to the conferences they do. Not just comic cons, but cons just for Doctor Who. So he's a pretty big fan of that. But yeah, Doctor Who was very popular when I was. I mean, I think it was always kind of popular, but it was one of those things. I'm pretty sure BBC used to come on PBS back when I was a kid. So Channel 8 in Phoenix, where I grew up, and then we would get that. And then I remember later on in my teens, there was a show called Chef. And guys, I don't know why I liked Chef so much, but that's just one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. And if you ever watched Chef, I think I looked it up later on. And it only had a couple of seasons, but it was really, really fun. It was this angry chef who nowadays, you know, probably wouldn't be as funny of a show because you got guys like, Gordon Ramsay or whatever that actually does that stuff in the kitchen. But this guy was basically like that in an old show. So I thought it was funny. All right, get more stuff, collect more loots. We'll take everything. We'll take all the loot. And then we're going to want the crystal because it'll give us more attack speed as we go. And we'll take that. And we'll take that. All right. Tom Baker was your favorite Doctor Who back in the 80s. Lost interest when it was in. Yeah. Yeah, Tomo, thanks for coming. Yeah. We're just hanging out. I'm shirking all responsibilities for today. And basically I was. Oh, no. You don't. Oh, man. I don't know what I was thinking taking those. So when you take the leech, or when you take that thing, you make leeches swarm, and leeches can end your day because again, I only have one hit point. I can't take any hits, so I really should not have. Man, I should not have taken those because they're going to make the whole rest of the level harder. Because again, I was running literally for the beginning of the level just to try to survive, so that was not good. That was not optimal planning on my part. Poor planning. I took a lure or a bait, and when you take the bait, you get a bunch of those little leeches at the beginning, and that made that level way harder right there than it should have been because I was down to one hit from the very beginning. So the Pain, you got the Linux Professional Institute LPIC tomorrow. Are you taking LPIC 1 or LPIC 2 or both? That's LPI, right? Yeah. Because I think they do LPIC 1 and 2. Hopefully you do well. I don't know if you want to tell us about it later, Payne, and or when you're done, maybe not brain dump, but let us know how you thought, what you thought of it, if you thought if the training or the studying was good or poor. I'm always interested in that kind of stuff. I don't necessarily I don't want what the questions were, none of that stuff. I just, was there good material for you to study and know it, which is always the things that I'm interested in. Especially as somebody who's kind of like an educator in that space, right? I'm trying to tell people to go do those things and get those certs. Although most of the time I'm kind of ambivalent to what cert you get. I just want you guys to do something. Like if you got nothing on your resume, get something, But I think LPIC's a fine one. I've been told that one's a sleeper though. Like I've been told that one's harder than you might think, and I'm like, all right, well, I would give it its appropriate, time and study. Don't just go in and try to wing it or anything. Make sure you give it the respect it deserves, or in the words of Ali G, the restekpa that it deserves. Oh, you're doing exam 010. Hey, Colchis. Colchis, you missed out, but I stole your this, and it did not work. Do you want to see it fail? I'll show you how it failed. I went and stole this right off your page. And if you want to see it fail, this is the page right here. Right? This is your Colchis Hetstream command here. And then it did this. It gave a map file. This is your error if you want it. I'll go drop it in the old Discord for you. Let's see, where's Colchis at here? There you go. Yeah. There's your output of what happened. Oh, does it say in the thing that I sent you, line 85? Yeah, it does. Okay, good. I sent you the whole output. Good. Okay. So if you want to play with it, it says it's right around here. Maybe you change some variable name later or something after you originally written it. But yeah, we're just messing around, playing. You know, we're doing what we call new boot goofing. No, I'm just kidding. We'll take armor this time. Ghost Scepter, damage, hit points. We want that. And that's fine. Take all this. Save that for later. Alright. Wave 9 got us last time because I couldn't pierce through them, but now I have piercing. So I should be able to... Like, I shouldn't get rolled up on as much. Plus, I only have 2 hit points, but now I have 3. And let's see if we can get... We started this with only 2 hit points, so let's see how high we get by the end of this level. It should be like, I don't know, probably like 70 or 80 by the end of the level for sure. Because we get so many with the scepters that we have. Let's see how high we get. We're up to 12 hit points right now. Again, we only started with 2. So we started with a 1 shot. We could probably take a hit now. I don't want to take a hit, but I probably could. You guys can see that I can keep up with the damage now, as opposed to just getting steamrolled like I did last run. If anybody was here. Yeah. And then we should be able to kill that guy. Take his loot. We always want the treasure chest. Yeah, we're up to 26 hit points. We'll get a bunch more at the end of the level, so don't worry. This guy actually takes half of his, and then divides by... So we got to 61. So we had 61 hit points, so that's pretty okay. Take 12 damage. We'll take attack speed. The anvil, one of the best items in the game. It's going to turn all of our stuff higher levels. So every round it'll give us an upgrade. And then when it can't give us upgrades anymore, it'll start just giving us armor. It's like one of the best items in the game. Just especially when we're going to go into the really, really late levels in this game. So, well, you know, provided we don't die again. And should be pretty good. More damage. Go one more roll. Take that. And that's good. Alright, that's good for now. Now, just gotta survive. So now we just have to survive. It's always survive. That's the name of the game. Don't get killed by any dumb stuff. Those guys charge from really far away, so you gotta watch them. And they take more than my normal 6 hits to kill something, so I gotta keep them far away and damage. So if they do charge me and they become the priority, because I let this auto. You can aim assist this. You can target directly, but I also am okay with just letting the game auto. I've been playing it long enough with it auto that as long as I stay close to things, but just know how fast they're going, I should be fine. Alright, we're up to 27, so we should be able to take at least 1 hit. So it makes it a slightly less scary level. What version of Bash I have? Here's the version of Bash I have right there. Send that over to you. Oops. There you go. We will We'll take none of that. We'll take range damage, that's fine. Damage. Range. Garbage. Better weapons. We will level these things all up. Take more weird ghosts. We don't want to speed the enemies up this next level, so we won't take that. We will take those and that. Alright. So remember, the anvil is going to be leveling these up each level too, so... Alright. Now we just need to not die, because these little rib cage things, which some people call mummies for some reason, I don't think they look like mummies, I think they look like rib cages. They have a lot of hit points, so they can, you definitely don't want them to get you. They'll end a run just as easy as anything will. Because they got a lot of hit points, so if you get too close to them, they can really mess your world up. You guys might notice how many hits they're taking. I think it's about 5 hits to kill them, so that's a problem. There's no other real benefit. I mean, they're just annoying. I guess sometimes they drop a little bit more money than the other guys, but not too much. Alright, let me get this out of the way, make sure I'm not losing too much chat. Alright. Payne's getting ready for his exam, so that's always good. Let's take 4 range damage, that's huge. We will... Can't put those together, but we can take this ranged, because they're a 2 and a 3, so we can't merge them. And then we'll take that, and the Ghost Scepter 2 can be merged. And then if we can find one more... so now we can merge them and take that. It didn't really matter. We could have bought it anyways. But now at the next level, these will all be 4. So they'll be all level 4, which is the highest. And then the anvil will start just directly giving us armor, which is really, really nice. It's one of the most convenient things around. All right, but now we've got a horde. So this is a horde wave. So that means there's going to be a lot of enemies. But that's also good. If we can survive just long enough to get to like 10 hit points, then we can probably survive the whole thing. We're already up to 6. Because again, the scepters make it so that however many kills we have start giving us hit points. Max hit points start going up. So what we want, we want it kind of like this. We're up to 20 hit points, so we could take at least 1 hit, which is good. We don't want to take any hits, but we could. Good. We're up to 30 hit points, so that's good. Max hit points, by the way, that's what matters. I'm trying to get close in there so I can collect this loot. Got to pick the loot up in this game. Otherwise you don't have any money to buy stuff. Alright, we're up to 59 hit points. We could take 2 or 3 hits, so that's... We still got to be careful, but we can get in there a little bit, so... no. Take harvesting, that's fine. Speed, regen. We're all the way up, so we don't have anything to buy there anymore. So the celery tea will give them 50% more, 100% more hit points the next level, so the enemies will be much harder to kill. But we will not have to, but we'll get more experience afterwards. We're also only 1 baby gecko away from having 100% pickup, so we won't have to go pick crap up anymore. It'll just fly to us. Let's try to get... Ooh, lucky coin. That's one of the best items in the game. We've got all that stuff that we need, though, so now we need to get our crit up, and it'll automatically move our luck up, which will be huge. Oh, and there's our baby gecko. So now we've got all the things we need. Now this level, again, this level is going to be harder because I made everybody have twice as many hit points. But I can stay away from everything because everything just flies to us now, so I don't have to go pick stuff up anymore. Those tentacles have an obscene amount of hit points, you'll see here. Just way too many hit points. And then we doubled it, so just so many hit points. Takes like 10 hits. That's mostly my fault, though, because, again, I gave him double hit points. This one's going to have... We're probably going to take like 20 hits because he's a cursed item. A cursed enemy has twice as many hit points on top of the 2 times as many as I already gave them. So they're already, that makes them way more of a hassle. So, all right, let's see if we can't get away from the corners. Don't want to stay on the corners. All right, there we go. Don't want the knot. It's a trap because you can still upgrade your weapons. We'll take crit because that gives us luck. We'll take damage. And wisdom gives you 5% more damage every 5 seconds until the end of the wave, but you start 3 ticks down. So basically, for the first 15 seconds, you're handicapped, but then you're stronger all the rest. So you do want it, especially if you're going to be taking longer fights. And we will buy all of this stuff for now. Armor is going to start being good because we're going to start going up in armor. So that's super useful. We'll take more speed. Take more damage and speed. And you know what? We'll stay there because now we got a boss to fight. So we got to figure out what boss we have. All right. This one just puts a bunch of eggs on the ground. Other than that, he's mostly, I'd call him mostly harmless. You do got to watch out for him, but just make sure he doesn't get the eggs out on you. And there he goes. He's down. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. We're doing good damage too, so that's important. Hold on, Colchis. I'll read your message here in a second. I got about 25 more seconds of concentrating. Doesn't really matter if I run around or stand still. Everything comes to me. Oh, Doc, over on YouTube. How's it going, man? It's been a while. Engineers rock. The rest of us roll. Yeah, fair enough. We'll take this because it's luck. We'll take it. That's fine. Take all that stuff. And we want the stone skin because, again, our armor's going up now. And we'll take more ranged damage. And Kraken's Eye is going to do damage based on how much curse we have, and since curse always goes up, we want it. And we want that. All of these things we kind of want, so. Bean Teacher, 50% more experience, that's good. And probably hold off there. Alright. Now we just got to finish it up. Just finish up, get to the last little part. Got 5 more waves, and then we'll go into the extended waves. We used to gamble on this, right? People used to gamble on their channel points, whether or not I'd do this, whether I'd get to level 20 or so. This is probably going to be a level 20 run, no problem. Once you get as much damage as I have, like, I mean, see how I'm just standing still? Nothing can even get to me. I just auto-collect everything. It's pretty good run. I could let, I mean, I have enough hit points that thing could have hit me, and I regen really fast, so. Not that big a deal anymore. You want to move around a little bit so you get the trees. The treasure chests, you don't have to pick them up. They'll come to you at the end of the level. So, but I could let one of those things hit me just so you guys can see how much it hurts, but not that big of a deal. Colchis said, so map file was introduced in bash 4.4 and I changed it manually, set to IFS and use read instead, push the change. Okay. Let me go grab the change real quick. Where is the file? Hold on. It's over here. I gotta refresh. Should be a new version of the file. Should say it was just updated 4 minutes ago. There we go. Grab everything, steal it into my little loot bag. Control C. Right click, escape :WQ. Go back to the Colchis version, and then if anybody wants to do an exclamation mark answer, it will and then give some bash command, it will drop it in there. If you guys do exclamation mark AI or exclamation mark LLM, which is more accurate, the LLM will try to answer stuff for you, but some of the stuff will not work. Yep. So it looks like Colchis answered on Twitch. Their command is ls-alh, and then it shows it right there. So there's the output. Yeah, it looks good. Oh, we do not want the knot. We do want that. We don't want that. We'll take that. Want the spyglass. Want the compass for speed. We'll take more regen, and we'll take more range damage. More experience, more damage, more experience on the ground as we kill enemies. Huge. And let's go ahead and we're to 0 armor now. So now we're going to get 2 armor per level. Don't want any of this stuff. Ghost Scepter by itself, level 1, cursed, is 156 damage. This thing's only doing 119, so we're going to recycle this and take one of the cursed ones. So we're going to start taking all cursed items to replace those. That's why we didn't take the knot earlier, even though we had all the highest level items. Because cursed items are always better. Not always, but for the most part. What's our crit chance at? We need more crit, because then our hunting trophies will be better. Do we have a fish hook? We do not have a fish hook, so we'll just take this. Now we have a fish hook. I'll just keep taking that stuff. And we'll hold on to this, because then with the fish hook, these things can curse and be even better. So let's go ahead and go. All right. Oh, so you tried to run. Yeah, so 16 probably doesn't have any command. Maybe nobody's run anything on 16 yet. So there's no history. So some of you guys know exclamation mark should run the last command in history, but it's possible that there's been nothing run on that since the stateless node came up. So it's possible that got cleaned out. All right, we're at 80 hit points. Let's see how far we get. 85. We'll stand still for a bit. Yeah, nobody's getting near us. Test should work. Illegal substring found in test. That's weird. Legal. Problem in the input sanitization. There we go. Excuse me. No ice cubes. Take speed, that's fine. Take attack speed for sure, that's huge. Oh, we always want the vigilante ring. Nothing cursed. So we've got a pity now of 15%. So something's going to curse in here. We hope. And screw it, we'll take that. Alright, we're going to let it ride. We want all of our weapons to curse if we can. It makes them way stronger. In fact, this one that only has level 1, every 9 enemies killed gives us a hit point, so, or gives us an extra max hit point. So you can have those all the way down to like 5, which is pretty good. Doc said all your jokes in English are horrible. They're alright. They work. Can't be worse than all my jokes. Don't need it. Don't need it. Take more range. Take more armor because we already are getting armor. See, this is 164 in every 10 enemies, and this is only 130 in every 12 enemies. So we'll get rid of that one. Put that one in. And we'll hold on to all this stuff. We'll take that. Tardigrades give us a free hit. So if an enemy hits us, it doesn't do anything. And we'll add that one with that one. So now every 6 enemies killed by this one, which does 258 damage, will go up. Alright, so now this is actually a good enemy right here for me because This is a monster. This boss right here, this mini boss is called Mother. And if I damage Mother just enough, it will spawn like yeah, let me back away from her. It will spawn so many little guys, and then I can use these guys to just keep leveling up my hit points, right? And so I can get massive amounts of hit points off them. I don't want to. I accidentally killed it. I killed the boss on accident. I was gonna let it just make a bunch of babies, and I was just gonna keep killing them, but you know, it is what it is. We can just stand still now. Colchis, if you fix that and want me to run it up again, I'll run it. So let me know. Let me know when I can pull the new version. I could also just use Ansible to check for when there's changes and pull the new ones down, but a lot of times we don't want to do that with production. 5 range, good. 13 attack speed, perfect. Nothing good over here. We'll take that. No. More attack speed. Nope. More attack speed. More trees. We want luck. Save this so it can try to. We can see if this will go. Any of these things can curse, right? We have 10% pity bonus, so that's good. Yeah, we can mostly just stand here on this one. Hey, thanks for the follow, guys. Hopefully this stuff's useful to you. I think I missed a few follows, but... Johnny said your stream just showed up and you're preparing for your LPI Essentials. Some guys are actually doing that. Somebody's taking that one tomorrow. They're taking their LPI 010, they said. We have a fair amount of people down in our Discord that study and work on that kind of stuff, so you guys are welcome to hang out down in Discord and talk shop. I often tell like my college students, and then I also tell junior engineers, like they say, Scott, what's the best thing to do? I think obviously getting in the terminal is one of the #1 things you can do, but the next best thing I think is to sit and work with other people that are also trying to get into that space or are working in that space and hear how the engineers talk to each other, right? I'm a big fan of you guys getting in there and working on this stuff. So yeah, we're not like, I'm not being super serious right now, but this is normally heavy tech. I'm normally doing a whole bunch of stuff in the lab or stuff like that. Right now we are technically in the lab right here. We are doing stuff in the lab. I'm just playing a video game while we're hanging out. I'm kind of shirking all responsibilities, as it were. Yeah, we didn't get anything cursed. We're up to a 30% pity bonus. All right, now we got 2 bosses, so we gotta stay away from them. And it should be, here we go. One boss down. Second boss down. So we've won. We've beaten the game proper. Now we're gonna go into the extended levels to see how far we can take this guy. Normally with this character I can get up in the 40s, but then it'll become too hectic to even see the screen, and we'll just be kind of hanging out. Fisherman's around. Man, I saw Fisherman in Discord earlier, and he posted something in the job channel. And I was like, man, Fisherman's back. And then Fisherman's hanging out with us in here. That's awesome. Fisherman, if you haven't seen, you can do an ! answer and throw any command you want into Linux in the top left window there. Although Colchis is working on his script that does it. My original script works, but it doesn't do all the cool color stuff. So it's kind of like mine is like a very functional workhorse script. And then Colchis is a little more fun, and it does some colors and stuff, but it also is still being worked on. So we're doing that, and then LLM in the bottom screen will ask the LLM, and you'll watch it chew through on the top right with BTOP in the Llama server that I have, which is only running 32 CPUs and 32 gigs of RAM, so it is not a GPU enabled system at all, but it does a pretty good job. It's a Qwen. So Fisherman, because I know you know this stuff more than other people, it's a Qwen 2.5. Let's take 12% crit, and then we'll take some speed. Oh, they both cursed. Take that, and we'll take that. Oh, and that cursed too. We'll take all that. All right, let me go grab this thing. Hold on. We do not ever want handcuffs. It's a terrible, terrible thing. All right, hold on. Control C, D, 400D, I to go into insert mode, come back over here, shamelessly steal this new thing that Colchis has just made 2 minutes ago, pushed it out, boom, drop down to the bottom, shamelessly. We could do a git pull and all that good stuff, but hold on 1 second, because I have it down. Hold on, copy. Boom. Escape : WQ. Ask your question again, please, Fisherman, and it'll pop up in here. Does @Colchis prefer being called Colky? Oh, and you got to do it. That's got to be like in a. You probably got to do like an echo around it because you're sending it into a Linux terminal. You do an !AI or !LLM, and it'll send it down here, and you'll see it churn through over here and try to process it. So answer, !answer is a Linux command. !AI or !LLM will give you a drop down here. And then it would have tried to answer that, but it would have probably given some really wild sounding bullshit, because that's what it normally does. When it can't answer, that Quen model it's tuned for some of you guys know that one is tuned for that. So it says, does Colchis prefer being called Colky Boy? You guys can see it up in the top right, chewing up the CPU. And then it looks like it gave some, I don't know. It says, I don't know. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Now it wants a more specific answer or a more specific question. The reason I picked the Quen 2.5 model is because it was super light compared to other models. There's a bunch of other Quen models that are a lot higher, but it was it's specified for coding, so people could ask coding type questions to it, and then it'll try to answer it as best it could. So yeah, it's pretty fun, right? You guys can ask stuff over there. I'm just playing Brotato and shirking all responsibility right now. And we'll take that, and we'll take that. We'll take crit, and we'll take tardigrade upgraded. We'll take more speed, attack speed. And we do need upgraded weapons when they show up. But we'll hold on to them for now. Alright, now we're going to have two bosses. The thing about this game is now we'll have two bosses, but we should kill that one. Yeah, that one's gone. And then this other one should be pretty much just we walked over him. We didn't even lose our shield. So we might have been hit once, but we had like 3 shields. So, and then Fisherman, it's very possible because there's a timeout. Hold on a second. I don't know what the timeout is on LLM. We were messing with it earlier. For a user, it's a minute 30. I can put that down to 60. But you were probably in the user cooldown right there. So try, if you would, try it again in a second. A minute, yeah, 90 seconds. Well, because the average run when it actually gets a good run is about 45 seconds. So I needed users not to be like going nuts, and I mean it would just back up, I think, and I don't actually know what the use case. I don't even know what would happen actually. I think it would just break. Probably just fantastically break. Well, it would be waiting is what it would do. If it happened too fast, it would just wait. But Fisherman, do you have tomorrow off? You'll be dead. All right, so in the top right, you'll see it try to chew through that answer, which is probably going to be quite chonky, right? Take hit points, sure. Let's see if we can get anything unique. Nope. Nothing good. Game's giving us nothing good. Oh, it's still chewing on it, man. It's giving it the old good college try right here. That's a pretty beefy one right there. So I did shrink the terminals a little bit since I'm sitting here playing games, but the terminals could have been a little bit bigger. Still chewing on it, still killing that box. That box is running at about 90 across all the CPUs. Just try to figure it out. Yeah. 85 average across multiple CPUs. If I was still in my other office, I'd be hearing that thing spin up right now, but I'm not over there, so it's not that bad. I think I hear one of the fans in there screaming right now. Oh, we are abusing that poor server. And then did it finish? Nope, still running. God, it's killing that box in the other room. You don't got much going on. Yeah, that's good. It's good way to be. All right, we're gonna take more crit because we want crit. We're gonna take celery tea because now it's gonna give us 100% more XP on the next wave and 51% enemy health. So that's better for us as far as like what could happen. It's still chewing that up, man. That's a long one. Hold on to this. Take that. We'll hold on to the cauldron. Well, you know what? Actually, it doesn't really matter if we hold on to the cauldron, but it's unique, so we're gonna try to curse it. We try to curse unique things because we can never get another one. So we might as well try to get them cursed before we go. Man, it is still trying whatever it's doing. So let's see what happens. I actually had one of these I saw. I could set it up where it would actually show the convoluted, like the neural networks, like each of the different layers of it, and it would actually show you it as it was doing its passes, what it was doing. I could have set that up a little bit, but I don't think I could do that through Ollama, because Ollama is just calling an API, guys, right? Like on the left here, I'm just running an API call here from whatever people drop in there. So it's chewing it up though. It's trying to do whatever that is. Oh, I definitely hear a fan in there screaming. That fan sounds like it's metal on metal. I think the server's like digging a hole in the floor in the server rack. It's actually funny. All right. Anyways, so we don't want duct tape. That's garbage. Garbage. Dodge. Sure. Garbage. Range. Perfect. Take more speed and nothing cursed. So we hold it. And now we got two bosses to fight again. What bosses are they? It doesn't matter who they are. They're dead. Oh. Two of my favorite ones. One down. Other boss down. Boss is down. I mean, we knew they were going to go down, but why not? Still going. God, what'd you say? Can you write a Python script that displays a largemouth bass and ASCII in the terminal? Oh my gosh. I didn't even read what you were asking it, but that's really funny. All right, I'm curious what it's gonna say back here. Also, if we miss, like if whatever it captures scrolls or goes off the screen or anything, everything that we do, I'll take this real quick. Did the command parse right, or did it break? I don't think that went. Let's go check on Rocky 15. Oh, what the heck? Where's my, That's annoying. That's super annoying. XCPNG isn't even working right now. Alright, hold on, guys. Hold on. XCPNG's going. These were all down the other day because I was telling you guys when I connect to my VPN, one of my VPNs cuts all of these networks off, and it's super annoying. But it's because they don't allow dual home setup. All right, come on, connect. Come on. All right. Did the Rocky server 15 just reboot? Because there should be error checking that keeps that from happening. Yeah, it looks like it rebooted. Need to get our error checking a little better. right, 27 luck, 27 attack speed. We'll take it. Cauldron, 90% pickup range. We already have 100% pickup range, but we'll take all that. Take more of that. Wait to curse that. We don't want a turret. And we have 4, 4, 4, 4. We're just gonna hold everything. I think I thought Colchis had put in a bunch of error checking, so I thought he had a bunch of error checking, but it looks like you can still do a shutdown command. So, and then that reboots it. Now, if you guys did another command while that's rebooting, it would go to a different machine, so it would go to one of the other Rocky boxes. Yeah, and so Fisherman, I figured I figured most people wouldn't mess around, or if they did something like that, they'd be like, oh, that's funny, and then they go about their day. So I left a lot of the stuff, thinking it's fine. And then we just had people come in and they just started doing they must have done some AI search, what's the most destructive commands I could do? And then they were just trying stuff over and over again. So I ended up kicking people out because fuck them. They're like, well, I didn't know it would be so destructive. It's not that big a deal. And it's like, well, you were given root permission and you showed exactly what you do with it. So I already know that you'd never amount to anything in the engineering or admin world, right? So that was basically my point to people who were being assholes about it. So it's for me, it never meant anything to me. If somebody gave me access for me to try to hack more access, I'm already admin. You can't pull over any further. You're already pulled over. You're already root. Somebody's done a reboot before, Colchis. I thought we had a reboot in there, but I could be wrong. Somebody's definitely tried a reboot before. All right, we're gonna hold all these things. Let them go. Anyways, the point is, most people tire themselves out quickly, but some people were just assholes about it. And I'm like, all right, well, here you go. there you go. There's the door. That's where you wanted to go. So there you go. Normally, again, I don't care that much. It's just then they just mess stuff up in the lab with their RM-RFs because, that doesn't take a node completely down. Most people don't know, that's not going to save you if the FBI is raiding you an RM-RF. You got to do something else. You got to scrub the disks. So, but, most people that would just do that stuff because they found the command on the internet don't know what they're doing. So, I got nothing to. I can't help anybody like that. There's nothing to do with them. They're gonna, be unproductive wherever they go, I think. So. What do I know, though? I'm just a guy on the internet doing Linux and playing Brotato. What do I know? RM-R. My buddy Jared has a plate that says web data. That's his thing out here in Arizona. It's web data, and he does web data, right? So it kind of makes sense that he would have something like that. All right, we got 2 bosses again. Can we kill them? Our damage is terribly falling off right now, so we gotta do something about getting this damage up a little higher. We are not doing good damage right now. So we'll build it back up. We'll build it up with those. Now that we're starting to get pearls and we have good luck, pearls and luck make the game. You can break the game mechanics with pearls and luck. So we'll work on that a little bit. The game mechanic of scaling, you can actually break that with pearls. Well, it's better with cursed pearls, but you can do it. So let's see. Breaking video games for fun and profit, fine. Breaking other people's web servers that they give you to train on, not fine. Right? Because there's no cost to this. Yeah, thanks for coming by, Colchis. Alright, take all that stuff. We'll take lifesteal because we're going to lose a little bit here in a second. And then we'll take crit. And no, we're not going to lose anything. We're just going to go to the next level because there's nothing cursed. Nothing's going to curse. We're not going to buy anything. We'll just let our hit points go really, really high. Our hit points are high. Our armor is going up because we got an anvil. So. Yeah, some of these guys have a lot of hit points right now. But we too have a lot of hit points, so it's on them. Oh wow. Yeah, we are not doing good damage anymore. Gotta up our damage game. Damage game. I mean, we're getting a lot of hit points, which is good, but our damage is not scaling well. Oh yeah, my buddy Jared has web data as his license plate. He does data analytics. He actually speaks at Measure Camp, so I tell you guys sometimes about Measure Slack and Measure Camp. He actually talks there, and he speaks there. Maybe not once every year, but every few years he gets invited to speak there, and then he does. Yeah, he does all web data stuff. That's his job. Web data. All right, so our crit is at 52, and our weapons crit at 55. So we do want this giant belt, but we want it to curse. It does 10% of an enemy's current health as a bonus damage. So basically, you're playing a zero-sum game. If you can crit enemies, well, you're always playing a zero-sum game with hit points, but what happens with enemies is they can never be more than 10 hits away, 10 crits away from dead, right? If you're thinking about it as an additional 10% of their current health, 10 hits essentially kills any enemy if they're all crits. And it's 1% for bosses, but if we let this crit, or if we let this, as me and the wife have been joking around, but if you leave the cameras rolling, then this will go to, I think, 2 or 3% for bosses. So that means a boss can never be 33 or more hits away from dying as long as you're at 100% crit, right? So this is another breaking mechanic of the game. Doesn't matter how much damage you do, you're gonna kill things. It's like you're reeling in a fish for fishermen. It's like you're reeling in a fish as opposed to doing damage against a set amount. Again, the term is sometimes zero-sum game. So let's see if we can kill these guys, which I think we should be able to. Oh, don't get ahead of our looping. Oh, I did get too ahead of it, so I almost killed myself there. But can we do it? Let's see. Oh my gosh, actually taking damage. We've not gotten that guy to loop. Now we've gotten that guy to loops, which is good. All right, I gotta go kill this guy because he's pissing me off. All right, one down. 2 other bosses to go. This boss, stick a gun in him, and down. All right, last boss. 10 seconds left. Can we do it? We're not doing a lot of damage. Dead. All right, yeah, we weren't getting hit for very much, anyways, but. Dead. Take it. More crit. We want more crit. Did not curse, so we won't take it yet. We're gonna try to. Our pity has to be at full. Our pity's at 15%. I'm surprised. So pity means when you have pity on a fish hook, it means that you have a 15% bonus of something cursing the next time. Normally you have a 20%. So we're sitting at a 35% chance of something cursing the next level that we go through. Now we have 3 bosses three mini bosses at a time. Let's see if we can kill them. Gosh, all the enemies are basically mini bosses too. All right, we got 1 boss down. Let's see if we can kill one of these other ones. These enemies have way too many fucking hit points right now. Yeah. We might not be able to kill them in the level. We might. Yeah, then, like everything else is too much extra damage. I don't think we're gonna be able to kill them. Plus, they're not even guaranteed to give us anything nowadays. We're so high a level, it's not guaranteed to give us an item. Alright. Nah, that was okay. Take it. Take it. Range, always good. Ah, now, yeah, 2.1. So it's 21% and 2.1. We want it. And we want higher crit. We'll take the clover for more luck. It's awesome. And then we want more damage and penetration. Bloody hand, pretty good. Might be a little bit of a trick. But we do have a tremendous amount of hit points, so it's probably fine. But we'll take it. And we'll take more crit, because we want to get our crit as high as possible. Now the tardigrades don't matter anymore, so we skip all them. And we want pearls, because every pearl is going to give us more damage for all the luck we have. And it's also going to give us a higher chance of finding more pearls. Oh, is that thing still going? Jeez, Fisherman, you are murdering that box. I can't believe how long that thing took. Or is still taking. I've never seen it go this long to write anything. In fact, it should tell us at the end how long it took to run. Oh shit, it says right there how much time it's run. It's at 17 minutes right now. I've literally never seen that thing take more than 40 seconds, so... I don't know if that's one you benchmark yours with or something. That's like your Elmar, or that's like your, not Elmar, what the hell is that called? Oh, shoot. It's your LinPack. LinPack is what we call it on the high performance compute side of things. LinPack. It's a performance test for HPC clusters, right? It's like, that's like your LinPack. It looks, yeah, nope, still chewing it up. Still pretty heavy. Excuse me. All right. That's funny. I can imagine it's not going to do anything like what you want, but it's going to try. It's like Mr. Meeseeks. He's trying. He's trying. All right. We'll let this thing try to curse up. And let's see if we get anything else to try to curse. Ah, we do want the little starfish to curse because it'll just give us more stuff on the floor. More stuff on the ground. All right. How much are we getting hit for right now? 73? Alright, so we're getting hit for 73 a hit on this level, so that's not terrible, but the more armor we have, the better. We do have an anvil. We got an anvil on like wave 13, so our armor's at 25, which is pretty okay. You can actually check in the game. You guys might not be able to see it, but armor at 25 means that I take 63% less damage. So, Root Loot Riot followed me. Well, hopefully this stuff's useful to you. We've got an AI that's currently broken right now. Well, an LLM that's trying to chew through a simple question of can you write a Python script that displays a largemouth bass in ASCII. And then aside from that, you can do ! answer and answer questions. Like if I said, what does fdisk do? You could do answer fdisk-L and then see what the output looks like and go, oh, that shows me all the disks in a system, or parted will do it as well. And people can do commands and that kind of stuff. You blame Qwen. Yeah, it's the weakest version of Qwen as well. So I only am doing Qwen 2 dot. We're gonna take more speed. Starfish, 38% more material drop from enemies. Awesome. Pearl is gonna start upping our damage a lot. We need to start focusing on getting luck and luck related items. So luck, and you know what, we're gonna take this so it doesn't pop up anymore, but we're gonna let it curse first before we do. And then since we're gonna have the ice cube and it, when you do elemental damage, we're gonna start grabbing those little screaming peppers. I forget what they're called. We want the fish hook to curse as well because we can only have a few of them. Yeah, it is an Alibaba. Yeah, I knew that it was actually a Chinese model. In fact, I know that aside from doing stuff like this, dicking around in the home lab, you shouldn't use Qwen for anything. Because, I mean, if you're not tracking your outbound connections, you don't know where it's going. And I would say most companies, and I've worked at quite a few of them, most companies do not accurately track their outbound connections. So we actually, you need to understand, like, your company probably has a policy. If it doesn't have a policy yet for AI usage, it definitely should have one. I know Fisherman's company does, but for some of you guys, other people, you definitely want to have a policy around whether or not you can use AI models and which ones are safe to use. Because again, you don't know where your data is being sent, man. You can't just be dropping shit. That's like dropping stuff in a web form on a web page. Like, you don't know where that data is going. I tell you guys all the time, there's this really kind of cool free service from Grafana where you can go drop in log data and then do log QL queries right in the page, right? But why the hell would you ever do that? I would literally never do that if it was any data that was sensitive. Because why would you do that? Yeah, that's true about Microsoft, I guess, in that same vein, sure. Dodge. We're going to put our dodge up. All right. It didn't curse. We're going to take it anyways. And then take that. That is a fair point about that. All right. We're going to take the sad tomato because we're okay with going lower on hit points. We have 3 bosses again. We should be able to kill them. Oh, yeah. See, our damage is way up now that we've been getting the pearls. And as our crit starts. When our crit caps, we're going to do really good damage again. Again, that will only carry us into the 50s. The game starts doing like some logarithmic scaling of damage and hit points. So monsters will start having like hundreds of thousands of hit points. But we will be hitting for tens and sometimes hundreds of thousands of damage. It just depends on how much we... If we can get all the right things, we can do a lot of damage. So we're just messing around right now. Fisherman, if you weren't here earlier, I was just messing around with... we're playing the devil, which is a character, some of you guys don't know this, but on Brotato, he's a character who he uses his max hit points to buy things. That's how you buy things in the shop. You don't buy them with money. Kind of like the old Grandpa Rick and the devil, right? Oh, you never use money here. Yeah, you pay for it in curses, right? Curse Purge Plus right across the street. Purges all the curses. Love it. Yeah, Brotato's a bad addiction. All right, we're up to 79. So we're doing really good on our crit. Another golden. So we got Ghost Scepters. And here's the thing. They're all cursed, right? But some of them... This one does 1 max hit point every 7 enemies. This one is 6. This one is 7. This one is 6. That one's 6. That's 5. That's 6. All right, so we're going to toss this one. We don't want it. That one's not going to curse for us, so get rid of it. And then we're just going to... We want more crit. Our crit is at 85, so this thing is at 88. So we're almost crit capped. We're not quite crit capped on our things yet. We take unique items just to get them out of our faces because we don't want to look at them anymore, so we take those. And then we will probably take the Gentle Alien, take that. And we're going to save our money for the next wave. And just stand here and kill everything on wave 36. We're doing good damage again. We were falling behind damage really bad in the late 20s there, so now we're back. Yeah, that's a good way to break the addiction. I just have too many characters I'm just not interested in playing. Like, they're not even fun for me. So, I don't like when games try to bind me into things. So... I probably have like 10 of the Brotatoes I regularly play or so, depending on what mood I'm in, just for fun. This one's more of a fun little curiosity than anything. Did you ever, Fisherman, did you ever watch the challenge that Baru did where he did all of them and he did all of them, and he didn't die for 62 freaking... Alright, we're going to take attack speed. We're going to take crit. We're going to crit cap everything. Yep. 100% chance. So all these are going to crit every time now, so that's good. We're going to hold on to this stuff, because why not? We'll take the jerky, but we're going to try to get it to go. We'll take this, because we are... Our armor, we take 68% less damage, so that's good. That's 68. Let me make that bigger real quick. Hold on. 68% less damage. Yeah, so we have 2/3 damage mitigation right here. All right. Probably should have taken the... Yeah, he did a few. He did them... I mean, when I first saw Brotato, there was probably only about 5 bros, and then they upped it to, I don't know, maybe like 15, and then they're at wherever they're at now. But yeah, I started playing it around the time that Baru first started playing it. So yeah, it's a fun little time waster. I have way more hours in this game than I probably should have, but most of the time you just play it and lose and then go back to work or whatever you're doing. So not too bad, but it's a fun little time waster. But I am completely shirking all responsibilities tonight, guys. I should be doing all kinds of stuff, and the wife is she's with like a little youth activities thing for church, so she's at the lake right now, and I was not going to the lake, and I was not going to do anything responsible, so here we are. And that thing is still chewing on that. Jeez. 26 minutes. I've never seen it take more than 40 seconds for anything. But it's found one of great interest to the Chinese government. So it's going to chew on that one a lot. We will take the grind leaf, but we're going to let this curse. Yeah, we'll take that. Skip all this, skip all that. I don't like ashes because we're getting 2 armor right now with our thing, so this would give us less and not with any real good bonus. So we'll just lock all that in. All right. Let's see if we can't kill this guy first. Oh, they're really getting us. All right. He is down. All right, so one of them's down. 2 of them are down. Good. And all 3 of them are down. All right, good. So we killed all the bosses, all the mini bosses. We're still not doing damage like I sometimes am, but we're doing okay. How much are the hits for right now? We gotta take a hit and see. We're taking almost 200 damage a hit on this level. That's not bad. That means it would have been 600 because we take 68% less, so it would have been about 600 a hit. So mitigation for the win, right? I've had damage mitigation at 99% before, and they keep giving us. Yeah, and then Fisherman, I saw the other day you posted something about needing more solutions architects. I don't know if you guys are still looking. I saw that your team was looking. Maybe somebody on here wants to go be a solutions architect for a large company. We want this unique because it gives us more crit, which we already have a lot of. And then also makes elemental damage in play as far as damage. We'll take luck. Take attack speed, always more attack speed. Grind leaf is going to give us 2 of both each level. That's huge because that's more damage. And in general, these are all great. Don't need any of that crap. We always want this. I want this. We're going to speed cap, but capping your speed doesn't really matter. Because you can still go above. So if you get like a speed generator or whatever, even though your current speed is capped at like 138, you can have a higher speed than that, but it'll just be capped. Nice, Fisherman. Yeah, I wonder if I don't have anybody that I know that would be directly related, I think, to what you guys are doing. Oh, I can take this now. But I'll definitely ask around because I know you guys always have good... you guys are a good place to work for people, so I did take a bait, so that made me have that. Also, literally every enemy on this level is now cursed, so that's fun. Cursed just means they have double hit points, but I can also do more damage to cursed enemies. I don't have that ability, though. I think I have to buy that still. But on Discord, don't have it handy, but you need to be now. So it's a local. Oh, yeah, that happens sometimes. Yeah, and actually, I know you hadn't been around as much, but I'm doing a deployment. I'm doing a deployment of a werewolf cluster for a customer and doing all the security of it. But we recently secured. I put Open On Demand, and then we're securing it. So for you guys that don't know, Open On Demand is a way to give people access to your high-performance compute clusters and kind of like a convenient. It's a super like hands-off way of showing it. Chris, you said, what sort of actionable data are you looking for in Outbound Connect? Sorry, I missed that for a while. But what do I look for in outbound connections? Typically where they're going is one of the main ones, Chris, and then also the ports that they're connecting on. So if something's connecting out on a well-known port to get to a box, or if it's just connecting in long connections out, those are the types of things I tend to look for. But also I monitor connections in, and I monitor, like, so I guess I'm monitoring things both ways in that regard. And sorry I didn't see that until right now. I've been playing my video game and shirking all responsibilities for the night. Also, I have tomorrow off, so that's kind of cool. All right, we're not gonna spin up, guys. We got 2 bosses and 2 mini bosses this level, so this is gonna be. Yeah, Fisherman, I remember you had written up either a blog post, or I remember you guys were focusing on that. Well, if you need me to sign a non-disclosure and help out, let me know. I actually have a couple of friends now that have made me sign non-disclosures, and I've helped out their company with some different stuff on contracts and stuff, which, again, for the most part, I don't mind doing that stuff at all. Our damage is way up again, by the way, too. I think it's because we're almost dead. Don't get hit. We're doing really good damage again. We just melted those bosses. All right, we should be done right there. All right, bosses are down. All right, bosses are down means we can stand almost in the middle of the screen and do whatever we want. But then, yeah, it's weird. Like, damage against bosses were way up to start. I feel like something changed like 5 seconds into that level. I don't know if you guys saw that, but like the first boss melted and then the other ones took a little longer. That was weird. So. Oh, that's what it was, Fisherman. Yeah. Well, I also harden it. That's another thing I do. I build Stig reports. Fisherman, you weren't around for a lot of it, but I just ran the guys through a security engineering course. Actually, Fisherman, hold on. I'm going to show you something because, well, I'm also going to show this to everybody else because I think the people need to know, right? This was from earlier. Somebody showed us that. That was cool. Let me pull up this. And for guys that haven't been around, we have 2 books that are free out there. They are just up here on the web, right? This is a Linux admin course book that the guys put together. It's our 16-week course. It's free. And then, and I'm just showing this to Fisherman, but also if any of you guys want it, then the security engineering course is over here. And this was right here. Let me drop that there and there. Ellipses said, is there a Linux patching for idiots guide? No, Ellipses, I do have one of our labs on the Prolog is in here is updating systems and patch cycles. So in Unit 5, I do kind of go over that. So that's right here. If you click on that book for the PSC and then look in here, and then I have recorded stuff here for what are we doing on patching, why is it important, how does it do things, where do we put repos and that kind of stuff. And then if you guys ever do the course, for anybody that's going to sit through the course, we do some Stig stuff, we do some pulling down of repo management, and then we do some actual updating of systems and challenges. There's like an enterprise Ansible patching lab that I have out on Killer Coda. So you can do like Ansible as a patching tool, because I'm a big fan of Ansible for that. So, all right, wave 40 done. We'll probably get pretty far in the 40s. Oh, alloy is good because it's really good crit, and then range damage, we'll take it. Dodge, engineering, sure. More luck damage. The lantern is great. It gives more damage and it gives a knockback, which is awesome. Take more of that. And we're going to take... We might be capped on attack speed, I'm not sure. But we're going to take regen and range and engineering. But then we're going to cap our speed. Our speed's pretty good. And 6 melee and 7 engineering each level. That's awesome. Even though we lose 1 max HP, this guy has so much HP it doesn't really matter. This character just generates HP on the high end. So we're going to take... We never want this on this guy. The ball and chain, we'll see what it looks like cursed, if it can give us speed. But we've been moving these down so they shoot at 0.091. So they're 10 shots a second, right? And this would slow them down to every, it would only shoot 1 shot. It would shoot, what, 3 shots every 4 seconds, 4 shots every 3 seconds, right? And that would be terrible. So we'll hold on to this and see what it looks like cursed, but I think it's going to be terrible. We are very much crit capped, but I'm going to take a little more crit just for fun. Also, our crit does increase our luck, which also increases our damage. So our damage goes up as our luck goes up. Our luck goes up as our crit goes up. So having high crit is good all the way across the board. Yeah, Ellipses also, if you want to ask in the Discord, let me show you guys. We got Discord, right? We got a little over 4,000 engineers down there hanging out and chilling. And I mean, shoot, guys are even studying right now. I think they're down there still. No, they're done now, but they were studying a little while ago. If you go in here and you go to like my notes, right, meeting notes or whatever, you'll find me just drop info in here every now and then. And when we were working so these are some of our, our lab notes. These come from the course, right? This was system deployment process. And then in our patching section, I have, and this also comes from the recorded stuff. That was our interactive. This is how our interactive process works. Right, I'm always drawing stuff because I want to be better as an engineer. This was monitoring stuff that we built. But in the one section, so we were talking about patching, right? And you wanted to know about patching. And this was kind of the patching process in ASCII art. I thought this one was kind of fun. Although this one doesn't show as well as it does in my presentation. I can pull up the presentation if you want to see it. But basically pull it in from the vendor, get to a centralized location maybe on the 1st of a month, push it down into your, maybe do this, hold on. This looks like shit. That is there if you want the full thing, but hold on. Unit 11. Let's go up one. And security engineering course. And what did I say that was? Unit 5? I think that was unit 5. Yeah, repos and patching. Let me pull up the PowerPoint real quick for you guys. Hold on. Also, I tell you guys all the time, I don't care if you know my name on the internet. I'm a real person. And I'm quite good at what I do, so I don't care if people know who I am. But anyways, this was what it looked like. So this is what a repo looks like as far as your system goes, right? You have your repos that you hopefully are pointing at official repos, but none of us point directly out at the Red Hat repo. Typically, you wouldn't normally do this unless you're just doing subscriptions directly from Red Hat. You would typically have satellite or something, which is the way that I like to do these things. And then patching in the enterprise kind of looks like this. The challenges are it differs from patching just on your desktop. You guys push a button and patch or whatever, and it's cool. Like, you want to have good inventories. You're doing multiple machines, so you need to do checks before you actually touch the machines. They must point to a controlled repo, or they're all pulling a bunch of bullshit, and that's terrible. And then patching always has new variables and instability, so you must deploy them in earlier, lower, like dev, test, QA before prod, whatever number of environments you guys have, right? So anyways, the question was this then. Vendor patches come in. See how this looks way better than what we were just looking at? Yeah, your satellite's awesome. So vendor patches come in, sync the downloads, and then typically I do this on like the first of the month. If I'm on a 1-month patching schedule, I will download everything at the beginning of the month. If you have the security ops team and other stuff like that to review the CVEs and the impact, awesome. But for the most part, we're going to patch everything. That's kind of how patching goes. And what we'll do is we'll pick, sometimes there's things we leave the same depending on if, there's applications, and maybe if there's no vulnerabilities, we don't affect the application. There's things that we might not change, like subversions of Python or something. That's fine. But then we'll go to the dev environment and we will patch. And we will then go and do testing of all the basic things. A smoke test. Does the system turn on? Smoke test is you turn something on and see if all the smoke gets out of it. Like, does it break? Does it turn on? We would do regression testing to make sure that it still works with all of the previous things that it did. We would do maybe some basic benchmark testing to make sure that it's not operating too much slower. Maybe you got some different libraries now that are going to behave differently, so you get different speeds and tests and stuff. And if nothing's really wrong, now the problem with dev environments is always this: they're not under the same load as production environments. That's always going to be true. You can't generate production workload. You can't. Like, you can simulate it as best you can, and then the users are going to surprise you in some ways. So we do what we can, but it is what it is. Then we patch that, we push that up into like our test QA and we finish out, maybe we have some more people look at it, maybe we have more types of testing from more different teams. You know, the dev stuff is probably just going to be you and then some of the dev teams doing some checkout, making sure applications are turning on, that kind of stuff. But this may be more of the company's QA stuff, maybe some different, you know, teams involved down here. And then we move it up. Then we come down to the prod, and this is even pre-prod, and they'll do some more checking, right? Maybe go to change management. I do change management throughout all of this, but in this example, it was only change management at the end. I do change management all throughout this, so I don't really necessarily agree with only getting change management, and CAB is your change advisory board, or sometimes you'll see that ECB engineering change board, and then no issues found, good. Typically, if you're doing an engineering change board, you got to have the system owners on. You have to have what we call the stakeholders informed. Sometimes it's good to have a RACI chart. RACI is responsible, informed, consulted, and what is the last one? RACI is responsible, accountable, informed. I don't know. You guys can look up what RACI charts mean if you want. And then you come down here to patch. I'm not one of those change management guys. I'm an engineer, right? So anyways, then we come down here and then we apply patches. It says apply patches carefully. That's funny. Verify that it works. Post-patch, compliance audit, roll back if there's really severe issues. That's always a hassle because then you got to go to snapshots or on physical machines. You can roll back to an old version of a kernel, but it's very difficult to get all that software out. Even with DNF and Yum, there's just significant things that are still on there. All right. So then the little bit of a review. So anyways, that's kind of my little shtick on that. You can watch. There's a recording for that if you want. If you want to spend more time with that. All right, let's go here. We'll let this one curse to see if we get another 5 out of it because we have some of these 7s. We'll try to go around that. So, yeah. So ellipses. Hopefully that gives you something to think about. All right, now we're gonna have 4 bosses. So let's see if we can kill. Yep, killed one. Oh, didn't kill him yet. Dead. Okay, good. They are doing a tremendous amount of damage, so I do not want to get hit by them. I mean, in fact, if I'm checking here in a little bit, I'm pretty sure they're hitting for hundreds, even with all that damage mitigation. All right, they're down. Let's let one of these hit us. Nope, got too many dodges. I didn't see. Somebody, if you can, track how much damage this takes off here. It doesn't matter. We're not, just don't get hit, right? I think we got about 4 good hits in us. So when it starts getting really fast, that's going to matter. But again, it's a zero-sum game for us killing the monsters because we're not going against their hit points. We're dialing them towards 0 based on number of hits, right? Because they're all crits. If you guys weren't around earlier for us talking about that, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. None of that matters. Oh, just fucking piggy bank. We'll just take it to get it out of the way. It doesn't work. We'll take more armor for fun. And the Ghost Scepter is 1132, and that's going to beat this one. So we get rid of that one and take that. And then we'll take the Diploma. And none of these things are worth anything. We're going to get rid of this because the Ball and Chain we're never going to want. The Peacock, we're going to try to curse that. And we can... Yeah, we can wait on the Lure and the Ranged. Tyler's garbage. We don't need none of that stuff. All right, doing pretty good. Oh, let's see how much damage they're hitting us for. 327. So yeah, so we're at about 9 hits to kill us. So we don't want to get hit too much, but and by the way, most things in the level hit you for about the same. So while there's a little bit of variance, it's all within about a rounding error at this point. So everything on this level is going to hit me for about 320. So not too bad. And we heal really fast, so that's good. But again, the goal is don't die. Don't get hit by anything, don't die. Doesn't matter how much hit points they have, how cursed they are, we do percentage-based damage. Unfortunately, it's only 20% on enemies and 2.1% on bosses, right? Additional damage, and it's of their current hit points, so actually I guess it's 50 It's about 50 hits on a boss, right? Before they die. So we can kill them fast, but it's mostly crit and attack speed that matter. Oh, nothing cursed, really? What's our curse rate? We got 40% and then a bonus of 40. We should have something should have cursed. All right. Oh, and Fisherman has officially broken that machine because man, that thing has been processing for 46 minutes now on his largemouth bass thing. That's super funny. I've never seen that thing chew through something like that. Yeah, before this, the longest I've seen anything run. Man, I'm glad I have solar on my roof. He'd be charging me money for all the electricity right now. Nah, it's not that bad. I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's not that bad. Oh. Stay away from all that. That was way too. That was a mess. We stand in the corner too. Standing in the corner, the guys can't spawn on all sides of you anymore, obviously, and they don't spawn too close to you. It'll all be worth it in the end. Watch it just be like, I couldn't do it, and it just dumps that out. And you'll just hear me go in that room with a shotgun. Probably. Oh, they all curse. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect. Everything cursed. Baby with a beard doing damage for us. All right, we're gonna let that curse up. And let's see if anything else is nice that shows up. Ah, we definitely want silver bullets because then it's more damage against bosses. We're going to go ahead and take another robotic arm if we can get it to curse. We'll give all those a shot to curse. Here's your fish. It'll just be the Chinese IP address that it's... Oh, I just realized what was being asked there. Hold on. So the question was, what do we look for outbound? Yeah, so hold on. Let me, just because of how I'm running these, I'm going to open a new terminal window. I don't normally, so you guys know, I normally don't jump into more than one terminal window. I just jump around and screen inside of one. But because hold on. Let's do something real quick. That's a good question, though. Sudo become me, SSH to llama. So this was the question from earlier. I didn't even track that somebody was saying this. I apologize. So I missed. Chris Jackson said this, and I didn't really. Hold on. I wasn't really paying attention. So we can see what we're listening on, right? And what we're listening on is the port for Ollama that we're grabbing 11434. But if we just leave the cameras rolling, right? We can see all the connection. What is this? No, I'm just kidding. This. So, by the way, one of the fun things about my environment, 192.168.11. 192.168.11 can get out in IPv4, IPv4 and IPv6. But if you're ever in my 192.168.200, you can't go out in IPv6 because I don't have that routed. But these are all my established connections here. And I might be like, what the hell are all these? You know, and then I might try to figure out what's going on. All these established connections. One of these is going to say I'm connected out to China. Yeah, but look at all these unconnected. So anyways, I can see what's going on in my environment. Let me make this a little wider. There we go. That's even... I feel like that's still not... Hold on. Still not coming up on one. There. That's easier to look at. So TCP, UDP, and then all this stuff going on. But none of these are leaving. So none of this is leaving the system because it's all local. We don't have anything leaving the network. So yeah, we should be good. So we're not talking to China right now. Yeah, we're good. That box is good. But so you say, well, Scott, how would you do that against all your boxes? You'd use a tool like Zeek typically, and then most of my environment is forced through one server as a router. So like my lab environment all goes through 192.168.200.1, and he functions as an IP tables router for all the nodes back in the lab. So I can track just him and see all the connections in and out. if that makes sense. So, yeah, and then ellipses. I don't do it anymore, but I was red team for a little while for a company called AAA. Most of you guys know what AAA is, and we were a big insurance company. And I used to be their platform engineering lead, and then I moved from there and became their red team lead. And then I left from there. Some guys actually, I used to stream when I was red team over there. And then I left from there to go back to a company called Redline, which is where I currently am, just doing mostly stuff for governments and government projects and stuff. Government and other non-governmental, bunch of entities that are touching the government for the most part. The U.S. government, by the way. I guess I could work for other governments too, but I don't right now. Oh, something took a lot of my hit points there. And by the way, there's not really any way for me to get like meaningful hit points back right now. So basically, if anything touches me right now, I'm done. Alright, there we go. Whew. Something drained me a lot. We don't need that. We want more damage. Nope. 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 Damage. Sure, dodge. Sure. Attack speed. Crit. We are crit capped, but we still want crit. Just for high crit. Will lure. Alright. Don't have anything else we can do. Router filtering. Oh, so Zeke, when you do Zeke, that is at layer 4. Actually, I don't. You know what? Let's not have me lie to you. Let's go look at Zeke Bro, which is Zeke here. I think it used to be called Bro, and now it's Zeke. You know what? I don't know. What is Zeke? I don't know. I actually don't know if it'll do every connection seen on the wire, but also application. Oh, so it'll do layer 7. I did not realize that. I did not until you just asked that, Control Byte. I would have told you 3.4 because that's what I use it for. But it says everything. So we'll probably set this up in the lab. I don't have this set up. I could put it on that box. I don't. We really should put Zeke in here. Nothing can be worse than whatever just happened to this box because of fishermen. I mean, God, look at this poor thing. That's like, we're probably spending as much as some small countries do on electricity right here. I'm just kidding. I don't care. All right, let's go here. Boom. All right, 4 bosses. Got to stay alive. A few of them are cursed. Oh my gosh, one of them makes more enemies too. So that's not good. But let's try to stay away. Let's try to stay alive, stay alert, stay alive, right? That's the infantry way. Stay alert, stay alive. Oh man. Oh man. On the plus side, we're getting a lot of hit points because we're killing stuff. But on the like on our high end, oh no. All right, we're done. It was too. I could barely even see, and I couldn't go anywhere. So that's a pretty good run. It tells us this thing did 6,465,000 damage in the last wave. This one did 5.9 million, 5.6 million, 6.5 million, 5.9 million, 6.4 million. So these were doing a tremendous amount of damage against those enemies. The highest I've ever gotten, I think, is like wave 57, and I had legitimately broken the game at that point. I think I could have just kept playing it, but yeah, this is like, this is how I play Brotato when I play it. I don't play it serious in any manner or any way. And then I have most of the guys mostly beaten. I just haven't beaten them all on the hardest mode, and then I never came back with the crash zone and finished any of these guys because I just didn't care. All right, so what do we got? Again, we're just kind of wasting all of our time today. Let's take this. Let's get Zeke out of the way. Let's pull up our normal stuff over here. So I'll just let this spin. Let's check on Ranger. How's Ranger doing? Guys, Ranger is quite old. He's getting near the end of it all, guys. Yeah, look, it's only 7:19 outside. All right. I probably should order some food too, or go get food. Go do something. Now, the follow-on to that is performance impact when doing L7 versus L3-4, but that's for another time. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's definitely more. But so Zeke is really just looking at It's the same type of thing as like a TCP dump. And I've seen Zeek run against 1200 nodes IO, like network IO, and track that on one box. So Zeek is probably pretty optimized for that. And then you can, and it's ZEEK. ZEEK, yeah, Zeek, like that. That is that's the way I've seen it work, and it's been pretty good. I haven't done my own testing with it or really throttled it up or anything like that with connections, but that might be fun. There are tools that'll spin up connections for you. Burp Suite will do it, and so will K6s. So if you guys have never played with K6s, that's one that'll do stuff like that for you. Yeah, so that's kind of all that stuff. We were looking at Malbian, one of our, somebody who popped in a while ago came in and started building Malbian out. They had already done this, and then they were showing it to us, and I thought that was kind of cool. We may be using Malbian Linux as part of our when we do the offensive security course. We may do a little bit of this because we'll have a little set on malware and forensics, right, on stuff that I've worked on. I don't do that stuff all the time though, guys, so I can't show you much more than like the tooling and stuff, but I can show you stuff that I've worked on with that generically anyways, so that'll be good. But you know, people that want to spend more time with that and get in there will have to go and spend time in that, you know, type of community probably, or you know, build out their experiences with that kind of stuff and try to get in that field if they want. But that's not something I consider any kind of expertise in. If that thing makes it to 60 minutes, I'm gonna have to kill it, Fisherman, because I don't think it's ever gonna come. I mean, I'll let it run. You know what? I'll let it run tonight. Let me go. I need to go walk in that room and see how's that poor server doing. Also, people failing themselves out forever. Also, these must have come in really fast, because for that many to have made it before they got banned forever. Typically, I thought it was only a few, but apparently it's 10 en route. Maybe that's what I left it at, 10. Anyways, those were users that had gotten themselves locked out forever, or probably bots in that case. Trying to connect in en route is pretty bold. Look, here's the last question. Can you write a Python script that displays a largemouth bass and ASCII picture on a terminal? And that's what caused this thing to fall over. That's what caused this thing to have a grabber. Say, what's a grabber? Grabber's when you grab your chest and fall out of your chair. Where's Llama at? Llama's here. How's his performance? Look at this poor box. Look at that poor server. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Look at the CPU performance. Just brutal. The last hour. Just pegged on all 32 CPUs. At least we know it's optimized for whatever kind of crap it's trying to do. That shit's funny. Oh well, what can you do, right? Alright, yeah, what kind of food should I get? That's a good question. I guess I have food downstairs. I don't have to go get food. I could cook probably something on top of that server right now. It's probably quite warm. It's in the warmest room in the house. Oh, I do have to put together a ladder in that room too. Say a ladder? Yeah, you guys ever seen a Swedish ladder? You know what a Swedish ladder is? It's like a exercise piece of equipment. It's good for stretching and pull-ups, and the wife can do TRX bands on it and stuff, so I want to put it together for her so she's got something. I mean, I have wrestling, so I can just go wrestle people, right? But she wants to do more strength training stuff, so I got her one of those. So yeah, they're really good for stretching. They're really good for like even rehab stuff. She was doing, because her left knee's been giving her problems because she had been running, and she went to like a physical therapy, and I guess like 20 sessions were covered by her work. So she's like, all right, well, I'll just go to this. And then I think she had to do like a $50 copay once or something. It was like nothing. So she went down and what did she do? She did all that, and then she's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be doing these exercises every night. So she'd like lay on the side and do like the leg raises, and then like the if you guys are familiar with kind of like a back bridge, but like single leg back bridges and those kind of things, which I was like, I could have showed you all that shit from wrestling, right? Like I can show you how to back bridge and touch over your shoulder, right? With the wrestling, I've been doing that for, almost 30 years, right? So, been wrestling a long time. Oh man, that thing is not stopping, fishermen. The adults are enjoying it. Yeah. I think it's I think they're pretty good. I think you can get some good work out of them. Let's see if 15 ever came back up. I'm curious now. I know I've been messing around, but you guys also can still send in answers if you want to see Linux commands run on boxes. !answer. Yeah, that's back up. And then you guys can also run. Well, !LLM won't do anything right now because it's backed up behind. That's a pretty good backup right there. Pretty funny one too, actually. I think that one's pretty good. What else do we have? We are in week 12 coming up this next week of the Linux admin course. So for people that are doing that, we always have like, man, I think we had about 140 people say they were doing it this time. And we're down to, I watch the discussion threads each week. We're down to only maybe like 3 or 4 people doing them. So that's all the people that get the actual official cert, by the way, in case you guys are wondering. If you're like, what does it take to get the little certification, the cool little cert that we have? You only get that cert if you finish everything. And the most recent one, the security one, is going to look like this. So that's what the security one's going to look like right there. It's going to have whatever person's name and then whatever their little code is, and then that'll be tied into the web page so people can check and verify that you're one of us, right? But that's for you guys to get if you want to. It's just I was talking about it today, how it's like I give all this stuff away. It's just all the thing I'm selling is hard work, man. It's all hard work. You just gotta spend time with it. You gotta get in there and do the Linux. And if you don't want to do Linux, I am perfectly, like I tell people all the time, man, nobody's making you do Linux. You could go do any other cool thing in engineering, and then you can do any other cool thing in systems. But if you want to do Linux, the number one thing about getting better at Linux is getting in and doing Linux. There's no, I mean, the shortcut would be doing more Linux, maybe opening more terminals and doing even more. No, I'm just kidding. But like you have to do, you have to do the Linux. That's it. Yeah, do all the Linux, right? That's our rage right there. Do all the Linux raging. So, all right. Well, I guess what I'll do then, this is amazing that this is going to run forever. I will, when this finishes, Fisherman, 1, I'll give you the output in the meeting notes of the Discord. And 2, I will, I'm fascinated now. I'm not going to stop this thing from running. I would have thought there was a wall clock time or something on this, but apparently there's no protection of wall clock. So we found a limitation, a weakness of our script for sure. When it finishes, or if, yeah, let's be a little more serious here. Yeah, probably it will finish. But I might be setting up a little bit this weekend. I might be setting up Open On Demand as well, just to refresh myself a little bit, because I haven't set one of those up for a while. This Llama system that we have, it may get a brother, and they may only be able to exist one at a time, because if you look at this box, right, you look at the performance of this whole server right now. Since Llama is taking everything, mostly this box that sits idle is sitting completely high. So because Open On Demand takes so many cores to run, I may have to turn off the Llama server to be able to get that capacity on the other node, right? So I'll build out probably from a base Rocky for Kubernetes, even, it doesn't matter. Probably spin one of these up as my Open On Demand, and then I'll open ports up for people to connect in. And we'll do some testing and stuff like that, like we always do. And we'll do, all the happy stuff that we do as engineers to make sure that our stuff at least works most of the time, right? The goal is to make most of the things work most of the time, right? That's kind of where we're at. So, yeah, I'll let that keep running. But also, I gotta go get gas for my truck because the wife's making me drive out to Gilbert tomorrow. If you guys don't know where Gilbert's like a suburb of Phoenix proper, and shoot, it's across town. We're gonna go see a play tomorrow night, I guess, which is fine because then we're gonna be like next week. She's out of town most of the week with her sister. Her sister's working on her doctorate or her master's in Kansas, so the wife's gonna go hang out with her for a few days, and then I'm going up to Colorado for a few days to do some jiu-jitsu and hang out with my buddies up there. So go kind of split up a little bit and then come back. So we're gonna spend some time this week and weekend together. You know, it's kind of nice to hang out with family. Man, this box is still chewing. You know, it'd be fun. Let's go do this. You guys want to see another one? Nobody's using this, so we'll stop this one. Watch this. You guys want to see something fun? Let's go see what that box is doing. So Llama is sitting here. Llama Runner. Let's also look at Top. Top is doing the same thing, so it's this Llama, right? That's what's chewing up everything, is this user Llama. So, yeah. There's Llama. The process that was doing all of the chewing up was 583816. So it's this one right here, right? So what we can do is we can S-trace. This is going to blow the screen up, guys. -P. And it should be the process ID, right? And now we can watch what this is doing, right? We can also do, if we wanted to, instead of that. That doesn't look like it was doing much. LSOF-P on that as well. And that should be able to give us what files is that holding open. Is it doing different files? Is it doing different open things? Or is it calling out somewhere? So it's only connected locally. It's not connected out anywhere else right now. So that's good. Both of those are connected locally. And then we can see what libraries it's using. Those kind of things. But we come back over here and we can see if it's actually, we can just watch the process run right here. I'm surprised this is not doing anything right now. This thing is actually mostly sitting here. So that's an interesting thing. I think I can do a -C on that. Let's see. Let's watch this real quick. Yeah, this thing should be running all kinds of stuff. It's just sitting there chilling. Where's the dash? I think -S is summarized when it's done. -C. When it's done and I hit Control-C, it'll tell me all the things. Oh, no, it won't. I thought it would tell me all the things when it was done. We'll see. Maybe it doesn't work with a Control-C. But yeah, this thing is not, I mean, it says it's doing all this stuff. Does not look like it's actually doing anything. Let's check something else. Time. Yeah, that's a pretty good load average against that. It's a little bigger so I can see it. Yeah, it's not really doing much. There we go. It's doing something. What I would have expected it to be doing most of that time. So anyways, we could see what it's doing if we wanted to go, if we had some kind of problem, go in and figure it out. It's checking clock time. It's checking its watch. Just get done. Yeah, an hour and 10 minutes. That's a lot of just hanging out. By watching it, it's dropped down in the 80s. Oh, it jumped up a little bit. Just wild to me how high the CPU's been spinning. Yeah, so we can sit here and watch this. Let the system run. If you guys have questions, obviously we're doing more now than we were a little while ago. Also, I've moved a little ways away from my microphone, so sometimes people say that it's a little more quiet, but I have leaned back in my chair to watch this from a much more prone. I'm almost laying completely back in my chair, watching this run. Fascinated with how long it's taking for a simple ASCII art. I almost feel like I have to wait now. Like I can't, I mean, I could leave and go get food and I think I'd be back before this was done. But it certainly has not failed yet, which is good. This is like sending off some junior engineer to do something simple, and then they're like, they refuse to come back until they get the simple thing done, even though they're tripping up on something, you know? That's what's happening with the LLM right now. It's just like, nope, I can't quit. I can't quit. I gotta keep doing it until the boss is happy. Keep the boss happy. It's definitely working harder than it was when we first started watching it. Now it's like scrambling to look like it's doing something. That's kind of funny. At least in my mind. What all these calls are actually doing, we could dig in if we had the original code, right? But without that, we're just kind of at the mercy of watching it. Bottom right, we got a bunch of stuff just spinning, different stuff that we've been looking at tonight, different stuff we've been talking about. We're up at 74 minutes now. This probably longer processing time for this one request than all other requests put together, if I had to guess, for my system. I think this has now spent more time than all other requests that I've ever had on here put together. I can go look at the system time and see spikes and stuff and see how long things took. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything take more than a minute. It either fails right away or it gives something within a minute. This is it's like Futurama. She's stuck in an infinite loop and he's an idiot. If anybody knows what episode that's from, I don't know, some kind of prize in there for you. I said if anyone, not female. I said if anyone knows. If anyone knows what episode that's from. he's stuck, or she's stuck in an infinite loop, and he's an idiot. One of my favorite lines from Futurama. Oh, it's down in the 80s. That doesn't mean it's any closer to being done. It just means it's down in the 80s. Anybody that got here late, we're just actively watching this AI model fail to chew through something when it normally fails pretty quickly if it's going to fail. But maybe it'll write a Python script that displays a largemouth bass in ASCII on the terminal for fishermen. Because that's what fishermen wanted. Wanted this one thing. This was all he wanted. One thing. If you can get this one thing, he'll have everything he needs. It's also interesting, this system has 32 gigs of RAM. It's not even using a gigabit. So whatever number of cores it spread out to, it's not using that much. Like normally when I do stuff for weather data, it'll be 4 gigs of RAM per CPU core that we use or something high like that. This thing is using much less per CPU, which is probably reasonable because not everybody has that many gigs of RAM per CPU. I'm dealing with systems that have terabytes of RAM in them and many hundreds of cores in them typically. Those are all liquid cooled, by the way, too. If you're wondering, you're like, hey, how can you have that many cores in a system? Oh, it would get hot. It would go, it would go like Chernobyl if you ever took the water off it. In fact, we track the water heat coming in and out of the system to know that it's safe to keep operating it. That's not this system though. This is just an air-cooled Dell, probably 720, sitting in my rack over there in the other room now. Fisherman, you haven't been around, but I moved to my other room. I have a different office now. It's bigger, it's cooler. It's quite nice. Good office. Oh, we got more root users getting themselves banned. By the way, you can't log in as root on my system. It's like one of the first things you do is turn off the ability to come in as root. You got to come in as a user and then jump up to root. So now people have to guess a user, right? To ever be able to get in the system. That's one of the first doors you shut is you don't let root log in remote. It's a basic STIG, basic benchmark score of any security system. Lock down root, lock down any default users, don't allow them to log in. Sure, change their passwords if they are even allowed to log in, but for the most part, like when we see Ubuntu down there and we see ES for Elasticsearch or Pi for Raspberry Pis, those passwords should all be changed. If you're going to set those up on the network of any type, those all need to be changed. But now the main thing keeping me online is just the fascination with this thing finishing or not. Because again, I mean, we're going on we're an hour and 20 minutes, so 80 minutes in. down to 82. Oh, it jumped back up to 87. Oh well. Here's to hoping. I was hoping it was going to go down. Also, Fisherman, I don't know if you're still around, but we might want to put a check into the bot that, like, once we cross the threshold, it doesn't redo anything. Because we got to like 4,000 users and then lost one and got one and lost one and got one, and it just alerted a lot. So I don't know if we could put a check in, or maybe have it. I don't know. The next threshold should probably be like 5K and then 10K or something. But I don't know if you mind doing that. I guess I could do a pull request against your. I think the bot's on your open GitHub, so I can go in there and mess with it. I'll set some of the guys after it. Some of the guys are doing Git a lot anyways. But I know the bot's open source, so. If you guys don't know, the bot in our Discord is written by, well, its name is Fisherman Guy Bot, so I guess if you know about Fisherman Guy Bro, you know that it's his bot. But the bot just has little things that pop up every now and then that we gotta, not too much of a hassle, but. Let's see. Oh, Discord. Discord's such a strange. Guys, I guess that bot's gonna be working longer than me because I think I'm tapping out here. I think I'm almost done. I'll wait until the ad break's over, and then if anybody wants to hang out down the Discord, you can. That's the best place to talk to people and talk shop about this stuff and see what's interesting to you, you know. But yeah, we'll probably call it a night right here. I'm gonna go find something to. What do I want to eat? Guess I got food downstairs, but go get food. Do something. All right. So for anybody that's interested, again, Saturdays, that's when the courses are. Courses are free. You can go in there whenever you want. And I'll probably just kick us over to the end of stream thing here, and then I will send, when this is done, I will post it to the Discord for people. But if it goes, too late into the night and it's still running high, then maybe I'll call it executive. But I'll send you guys what happens either way. So, all right, take care, everybody. I will see some of you guys later on this